6年，你连4年的时间都6年了，这不钱多呀？不如多钱140，老板保险好钱。
A 60-year-old boss married a young and beautiful little wife, spent more than 1 million yuan. After 12 years of marriage, every time they had marital relations he had to transfer money first. The well-dressed man in front of us is Su Wen-tian. He said that his wife only opened this restaurant in August last year. Business was booming at the time. He thought the good days of lying back and counting money were about to come, but he never expected that after only 2 months, when business was booming, his wife closed the shop.
他就为了骗我，他搞这个碟子，他跟我好好给你过日子，你把放在这里，觉得我都没下，是吧？觉得我没下，我都不知道，他把房子就卖掉了，钱都到他口袋里了，拿到钱就跑了。
He never imagined that opening the restaurant was just a cover. In reality, behind his back, his wife secretly sold off his house, and after taking away all the savings of his lifetime she ran away. Now he is penniless, has no home to return to, and can only live in the restaurant.
我当老板个人，你想哈，拖到这一步了，是吧？哦，你这个骗我146.8块钱回来了。
Su Wen-tian said that his wife controlled the power over the household, including all the several 100,000 yuan he had saved after getting married, which were all in the hands of Liu Xiaoli. Now that things have come to this point, after drifting in the business world for decades, Su Wen-tian never imagined even in his dreams that he would lose his integrity in old age and be cleaned out by his wife. Thinking back now, some of his wife's behavior was very suspicious.
他觉得你吵了架，他就跑了，是吧？哦，这条句就跑过来。
In the 12 years after they got married, he never knew the exact location of his wife's house in the city, and he himself felt that his life had become a huge joke. After marriage he and his wife basically maintained a long-distance relationship, and the number of times they lived under the same roof could be counted on one hand.
他到我这来，帮我赚100块钱，我就过来，就是这样的。
Whenever he wanted to be intimate as husband and wife and improve their relationship, his wife would always demand that he transfer money first, at least no less than 5,000 yuan. After the transfer, his wife would sleep at home for one night and then leave again. Su Wen-tian decided to go and look for his wife to seek justice. On the way he scrolled through his moments, which showed that Liu Xiaoli was both the boss and the chef. He had seen his wife load a whole truck of the tables, chairs, and equipment from the original shop and transport everything to Huaihua, and from this he concluded that his wife had abandoned him and opened another restaurant. Through a chat app, Su Wen-tian tracked down the restaurant's address. As soon as he walked in, his mother-in-law flew into a rage and would not even let him sit on a stool. Su Wen-tian said that he had always shown great respect to his wife's parents, and had even given her a 10,000 yuan red envelope on her birthday, but his mother-in-law Wang Chui completely ignored him. Hearing someone older than herself call her mother-in-law made her even more furious. She refused to acknowledge this marriage. Su Wen-tian said that they were legally married with a marriage certificate, but his mother-in-law kept undermining him, saying that the marriage certificate was a fake made up by Su Wen-tian. Even after his mother-in-law trampled on him like that, Su Wen-tian could see what was going on, so he simply stopped arguing, turned around and went up to the second floor, took a look around, and found all of his wife's clothes, but still could not find her, so helplessly he went back downstairs to ask his mother-in-law Wang Chui where she was, but as soon as he opened his mouth, another round of quarreling erupted. Wang Chui was unwilling from beginning to end to reveal her daughter's whereabouts. She only pulled the reporter aside to complain and revealed a shocking inside story.
有钱给过你开店子，有家暴有大气的，把门打烂几条。
你女儿小她20岁，她能家暴你女儿啊？她6岁人呐。
你这就是讲你没相信，你只要比全人民啊，你这才清楚，你才晓得。
Wang Chui said that for her daughter this was her third marriage with Su Wen-tian, and the previous 2 marriages had both ended because the men committed domestic violence. They had thought that since Su Wen-tian was more than 20 years older than Liu Xiaoli and was running a business with a shop in the city, he would be gentle and harmonious, but who knew that he also hit people? That, she said, was the reason her daughter was unwilling to live with him. Besides, a married daughter is like water poured out, so do not come looking for her when there is nothing, and when there is something all the more you should not come, she cannot manage it. After saying that, she quickly ran off. Su Wen-tion felt that his mother-in-law was full of lies, and solemnly said that he did have a marriage certificate. Since he could not find anyone, Su Wen-tion returned empty-handed.
不买车就不查结婚证，没有钱给他就不回来了。
Back at his seal engraving shop, he took out his cash ledger and said that because he was a businessman, he had the habit of keeping accounts, so from the time they first got together, every sum of money he gave to Liu Xiaoli was recorded there without missing a single one, along with notes of the specific events at the time. Back then his wife repeatedly demanded that he had to buy a car before they could get married. Looking through the transfer records and notes one by one, he concluded one thing, which was that no matter what he said, his wife always asked him to put up money in exchange first. Although they had been married for 12 years, the actual time they had spent together was less than 1 year.
这5000块钱来我就过来，这5000块钱他答应在这里啊又跑了，就是这样的。
He now feels that he has been completely used up, and when he had no more money, his wife threw him away like trash. When the reporter asked him, since you knew that your wife approached you for money, why did you still choose to believe her again and sink deeper and deeper into it?
哎呀，我们傻日子，好相信他的鬼话是吧？
After that he again went to his wife's residence to look for her, but still found nothing. Su Wen-tion said that if Liu Xiaoli had not sold his house and he had not angrily filed for divorce, he would never have been able to find out his wife's exact address. Having no other option, he could only go to his mother-in-law's home.
动不动要把我全家杀了，我就看你以后大有本事。
Liu Xiaoli's younger brother was furious and said that Su Wen-tion was a madman who often sent text messages threatening to wipe out their whole family. Getting a divorce and still wanting to calculate every kind of expense, that really does not make him a man. So now they will not even let him through the door. Su Wen-tion explained that anyone would be angry after being cheated out of more than 1 million yuan, and those were just words said in anger. But Liu Xiaoli's younger brother said that his older sister had been married to him for 12 years, and that this already proved with actions that she was not just out for his money. It was Su Wen-tion himself who did not know how to manage a marriage, and he just dumped a bucket of dirty water on his older sister's head.
你在耍赖，你就想搞女人钱，你结婚，你天下这两个午餐没有。
He said, a divorce is a divorce, but instead he came over demanding all the expenses from when they had marital relations, even including living costs. He had never heard of such a thing. But Su Wen-tion said that the two of them had basically never lived together, this marriage existed in name only, and even their marital relations were pitifully rare, and whenever he wanted to be intimate with his wife, he had to pay money first. His wife would come back, sleep for one symbolic night, and then leave again. Now that he is old, he needs money for his old age, and he also has an 80-year-old mother above him who needs his support, so he must get his money back. He called his son and daughter-in-law to back him up, but he was harshly slapped in the face instead.
就这一块转账是你自己算了有多少钱
43万
？435120。
这个43万1200几块钱现金，还有些现金存在他卡上都不上账。
This 60-year-old man insisted on pursuing true love even if everyone turned against him, bluntly saying that in old age he would not rely on his children but on his wife. But after handing over all his family assets to his young wife, she ran off.
有钱都不养老人，儿女都不管，就为了一个女人这样子。说老爸生病了，叫他回来，他说死了，我说快点死。
The daughter-in-law, as soon as she picked up the phone, accused her father-in-law of spending all the money on Liu Xiaoli and not caring about any of the elderly or children in the family, and the whole family was very disappointed in him. Su Wen-tion then wanted to call his son for help, but Su Xiong would not even pick up the phone. Anyone with eyes could see that that woman had ulterior motives, but the father-in-law would not listen to persuasion and broke with his family.
他就是骗他的钱，就把车买回来，就转手就卖掉了。以后是给老婆过日子，他说不是给儿女过日子，他老了不要不靠我们。
What is more, that woman also claimed that she had given birth to a child for the father-in-law, but the origin of this child was unclear, because when she was pregnant she was not living together with the father-in-law, and when she gave birth it was not in this home. She only brought the child back after it was born and said that the child was the blood of the Su family. But the father-in-law firmly believed in this young wife. Now that Su Wen-tion has nothing left, he finally woke up to the fact that what he had found was not a companion for his old age, but a scourge. But what he did next left the reporter baffled again.
你这个时候就知道不是你的，怎么你现在又怀疑是你的？
他讲的话没有一句真话了。
Su Wen-tion had once been overjoyed at having a child in his old age, and had also suffered because he doubted the child's identity. All these years, in any case, his heart had been completely set on Liu Shaoli. After being rebuffed and frustrated everywhere like this, he remembered that in the past, whenever he did not obey his wife in everything, she would resolutely walk out, and whenever his wife needed something from him, she would immediately switch into a gentle and sweet demeanor to coax him. He finally decided to do a paternity test with the child. Su Wen-tion brought the reporter and the police officer and once again went to Liu Shaoli's mother's home.
是他妈的小孩，他自己能不能生小孩，他自己清不清楚？
他结婚1年都没人生小孩。
哎，他不行的。
The younger brother-in-law said something shocking and flatly refused the paternity test. After hearing this, Su Wen-tion felt as if he had been struck by lightning. His house, his car, his money, his wife and child, after paying out more than 1,400,000 yuan, he ended up with nothing at all. Clearly, he could not accept such a reality. The Liu family could not care less whether Su Wen-tion lived or died. They just left him standing outside under the blazing sun while they turned around and went back into the house. After standing there for 2 hours, Su Wen-tion went back again to the house that he had transferred to Liu Shaoli. The house that had originally belonged to him was already occupied by the new owner. He had only bought it 4 years ago, and Liu Shaoli had sold it off within a month.
就这一块转账是你自己算了有多少钱
43万多。
43万5120。
这个43万1200几块的现金，还有些现金存在他卡上都不上账。
From the figures in the accounts, it could be concluded that the cash Su Wen-tion had given his wife came to almost 440,000 yuan, and there were nearly another 440,000 yuan transferred online, plus almost 400,000 yuan from selling the house. In total, Liu Shaoli had taken more than 1,300,000 yuan from him. Su Wen-tion said that his seal engraving shop brought in more than 1,000 yuan in income every day, and he handed over all of the shop's daily takings to his wife, hoping simply to spend the rest of his life with her in peace. He never expected that Liu Shaoli's appetite was too big, and it seemed that even this amount of money did not impress her, and she still wanted to start another business and engage in vicious competition with her own husband.
我开120，他开100，我开150，他开100。你个娘是什么老婆了？我老公在抢生意。
Liu Shaoli also opened a seal engraving shop right next door to his, and because of his wife's vicious competition, he himself lost more than 200,000 yuan. Later he drove Liu Shaoli away. With no one to confide in, Su Wen-tion said that ever since he married Liu Shaoli, nothing had been normal, and even on their wedding day he had been alone in an empty room, waiting there like a fool until late at night, while his wife went out by herself to enjoy herself until after 1 o'clock in the morning. Now that things had come to this point, all Su Wen-tion could do was sigh. He could not understand why after pouring out his heart and soul, he still could not win his wife's true feelings.
After 12 years of marriage, Su Wen-tion went from being a successful boss to falling into a situation where he had nothing left and was blamed by his whole family. His house was gone, his savings were gone, and even his support for old age was gone. What he had originally thought was a marriage built on true feelings turned step by step into a carefully designed calculation. And what chilled his heart the most was that he only realized in the end that the person who had stayed by his side and once said she would spend the rest of her life with him had never truly regarded him as family. Now, all Su Wen-tion can do is stand outside the house that once belonged to him and watch other people live in it. He can also only stand under the scorching sun for hours at his mother-in-law's doorstep without even getting a chance to say a word. He gave his true feelings, his trust, and his money, but in return he got a life in ruins. Marriage should be about mutual support, not a constant process of being drained. The greatest sorrow for a person in old age is not having no money, but discovering after giving everything that it was given to the wrong person. What do you think of this marriage? Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments section. See you in the next episode.